Don't act like it's so easy. Don't tell me it's so hard. Don't tell me all your secrets, but don't just be showing off. I'm gonna tell the truth. It ain't that bad or good. Two girls and double used to.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Julia and I'm so glad that you clicked on today's video. Today we are going to be, as you saw from the title, doing a mood reading month of November. So this video is going to go over the span of the entire month of November, and we're just gonna pick whatever book I'm in the mood for at that moment. So I had a pile that I preset of a bunch of books that caught my attention, that I was kind of in the mood for, and then I'm just gonna pick from those because there's so many books that as the year wraps up that I want to get to, and I just don't know which to pick and where to start and everything. And so I figured instead of forcing myself to read certain books and try and make it through, I'm just gonna mood read whatever books I'm in the mood for, because I was kind of in a bit of a reading slump a couple months ago, and I've been trying to get out of that reading slump. And so I wanted to use November to do mood reading, because that is the best way to get out of a slump, is to just read whatever books that you're in the mood for. And for the very first book that I picked, I actually talked about it in my TBR video. I had already started Fourth Wing. That is the very first book that I picked for today's video and was really in the mood for. I've been really eager to get to Fourth Wing for so long, so I was super excited to be able to finally start it. So let's get to it.
I've been alone. I stand under. I've been wondering where this goes. Do you see me? I'll give, conceive. Do you want to feel alone? Each day brings a seed unsown. You are loved more than you know. Could you give yourself to something so unsure? I've walked so far, trusting my heart. I've been waiting for a sign, so scared at times. I've lost my ties. I've been wondering where this goes. Keep it focused on. No, I don't want to feel alone. I'm loved more than I know. I will give myself to something of that, I'm sure. I look around the table, my My family's all here in this town full of people who visit once a year. So split down the middle, you cut and I choose.
Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about Fourth Wing and give you guys my updates. I realized that I hadn't talked to you guys about my thoughts and everything on it and where I'm at. And honestly, it's because this book is so good. So first and foremost, I'll tell you that this book is so good. It's keeping my attention. There's so much to it, and I really enjoy all of the characters. I'm loving all of the different challenges they have to face and go through, and the writing is just so smooth and so fast-paced. Like, there's just so much to this book, and it's really fun, and it's keeping my attention. I'm really enjoying it. I don't really feel lost at all, except for like occasionally when the book talks a bit about politics, and it's something that I don't fully understand, but where are you going, babe? When the book is talking about certain politics that I don't necessarily understand, I have a feeling either it's not important to know or I'll start to understand it later on as I get farther in the book. So that I'm not too worried about, and honestly, still for the most part, I am following along for a lot of the book, but I am enjoying the little glimpses of romance that we're getting. It's starting to build, and it's just really fun when it does happen, and I'm obsessed with Xaden's character in general. I love how tough he is. He doesn't baby Violet like another character in the book does. That's a little bit of like description of the book so far and like my thoughts on it, but as far as where I'm at in the book now, I'm on chapter 26. If you have read the book before, I'm at the squad battle and they just completed the mission that they needed to complete. So that's where I'm at right now in the book, and there's a lot to this book, but it's still easy enough to follow, and I'm really, really enjoying the book. So I'm on chapter 25, I'm just starting it, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna keep reading, and hopefully I'll remember to update you guys more as I go, but like I said, it's just so difficult to remember to do that because I'm just so invested in the story and want to keep going. But I'm really hoping that the romance starts to come up soon, because I know there's a point where it gets like really intense, like there's way more of the romance in the book, but I'm also enjoying the slow burn of it as well. So also I have my Kindle instead of the physical book because I downloaded it on my Kindle, and so when I'm going to work or I'm going somewhere and I don't want to bring the whole book with me, it's just easier to bring my Kindle, so I have it downloaded and I bring that with me to work. Hi Moo. Hi buddy. You come to say hi? Buddy, what's going on? So I'm gonna keep reading and I'll update you guys when I have more to talk about.
We both seem to lose, but nobody leaves. Nobody.
Guys, I have been reading not nonstop. I've been reading a bunch of Fourth Wing, and I realized that I haven't given you guys any updates. What is going on with this piece of hair? I am on chapter 33, so for those of you that have read this book before, chapter 30 was incredible. Chapter 31, or 32 was it? Was also incredible, and that's all I can say about that. And then second thing, so I'm in the middle of chapter 33 and shit's hitting the fan. One thing that I don't know if I have already said earlier in the vlog or not is there is a certain character, and I won't say their name because I am doing this spoiler free, of course, but those that have read this will still be able to understand who the character is. This certain character, they are a good, how do I want to word this? There's a certain character who is really overprotective of Violet and absolutely driving me insane. they're driving me nuts and I'm really just over it. So that's my thought on that certain character. And other than that, I'm absolutely loving it. I am on, like I said, chapter 33, and since I started chapter 30, things have gotten, like, they've just been crazy the whole time. I've heard that it just keeps going from there, so the rest of this book is like continues to stay crazy, but I'm 81% through the book. I'm hoping to get a good chunk of it read tonight before going to bed. We'll see. I'll give you guys more updates, but I'm absolutely loving this book so much. I understand the hype, and definitely, I know I'm not even done with the book yet, but I definitely recommend this book. And if you are someone who loves fantasy, if you are someone who loves romantasy, or just romance in general, like, this is such a good book. And it's not confusing too. So if you're not someone that really tends to read fantasy books, but you have heard plenty about this and are wondering if you'd like it too, I definitely recommend giving it a try because it is really good and the romance is good. It's forced proximity, slow burn, and high stakes. Like, it's just so good. So I highly recommend it. But anyway, I haven't even finished the book yet, so I'm gonna get back to reading. Okay, I just finished the end of chapter 7 of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Good Girl, Bad Blood. So it's the second book in the series. I started it probably like 3 days ago, and I've been listening to it mainly only on my way to and from work, so I can listen to it in my car because that's just easiest for me. I've been enjoying it so far. It's a little bit of a slow start, but it's still an interesting start to the book. I don't know, I'm excited to see where it goes. Chapter 7, the end of it was interesting because Pip started interviewing the family of the person who's missing. Pip had started a podcast called A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and she is helping a friend from school. They are trying to find the guy's brother. Connor is the brother of the person who's missing, I think. It's really hard to keep the name straight, especially when I'm listening to an audiobook, but I'm still following along pretty well, and as soon as they like start talking again and they say the names, then I know who they're talking about and everything, so it's not a problem when I'm actually listening to it, but then talking to you guys about it, I'm spacing on their names. It's starting to get interesting, it's starting to pick up, and I'm enjoying it. And one other thing is I am listening to the dramatic version of the audiobook. I don't know if that's actually what you call it, but it's the one that has like multiple actors. So there's a guy that is talking for the voice of someone, a girl talking for Pip, and then someone else that talked for his mom. And so it's enjoyable with that because it makes it feel more real, and I'm really liking that part of it. But at first it was a little weird because like the main person that's reading the book, I don't know, the way she talks sometimes, she talks super breathy and it distracts me sometimes and it makes it a little difficult to focus because of the way she's talking, but I've kind of gotten past it, kind of gotten used to it, so now it's getting better, but that was a little difficult in the beginning. But I'm still enjoying it nonetheless, and like I said, I just finished chapter 7, so I'm starting chapter 8, and Fourth Wing is going really well as well. I just got to a really difficult chapter. It's a really intense section of the book. I am now 92% through the book, I believe. It's just like crazy. So much is happening, and I definitely was sobbing at a part, and it's fine. I was on my break at work and I was sobbing, casually reading this book, and people are like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, no, but it's fine because it's a book. But I'm like this crazy weirdo person that's like sobbing at a fictional character in a book. But oh, if that doesn't tell you how good the book is and how invested I am in this book, I don't know what will. But it's so good. So I'm hoping to finish the rest of Fourth Wing either tonight or tomorrow. Probably more likely to finish it tomorrow because it is Thanksgiving Day today, and I just got home from work, so Brendan and I are going to make ourselves a fun Thanksgiving meal and just hang out and stuff, and so I probably won't be reading much at all tonight. So we'll see. If I do get anything read or have any more updates, I'll let you guys know, but otherwise I will hopefully read the rest tomorrow and then give you guys my final thoughts on it and everything. So talk to you guys again soon. Hello guys. Okay, I'm going to be finishing up reading Fourth Wing. I'm on page 465 and only have that much left of the book. So I am going to finish it up this morning and then I'll tell you guys my final thoughts. I'm so excited to finally finish this book, not because it's bad or anything, but because I'm so excited to see what happens and then get to Iron Flame and to pick my next mood reading book, which I so badly want to pick Iron Flame, but I think for right now, first I need to pick a different book that's shorter and then read Iron Flame, just so that I can have a little bit of a variety in my month before it's over. Also, because Iron Flame is such a long book, so I'm like, it's gonna take so long. So I know because it's gonna take long, I want to have finish another book first before I start that one. So I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's finish Fourth Wing first and then we'll go from there. Also, I just woke up, so don't mind me looking like a mess. I haven't gotten ready yet, but I just want to read this book, so we're gonna start that and then I'll go get ready. Okay, I forgot I read some last night on my Kindle, so I'm definitely not on that page. I'm on page 484, so I was only a page into it. I'm on chapter 38, so now let's get started.
You tell me that you'll be here when the summer starts to fade away. Cross my heart up to die, but I know that you can't be making any promises. You keep changing up your mind like a spin the bottle, playing hide and seek with all your problems. And I've been losing sleep 'cause you promised no take back. Wearing my heart like a Boy Scout badge, but it's barely hanging by a thread. Brought a knife to a gunfight, now we both got blood on our hands. Float like a butterfly, and sting like a bee. Cross my heart up to die, but I know if we tried it, honey, we could be so sweet. You keep changing up your mind like spin the bottle, playing hide and seek with all your problems. And I've been losing sleep 'cause you promised no take backs. Everything was
I am literally at the end of the book, like that's acknowledgements. So I'm gonna read the last 2 pages and I'm so excited but nervous to finish this and see what happens, but okay, I'm not gonna say anymore because I don't want to spoil anything, but okay, let's read the end of this book. I need to process what I just read. I'll be back. I can't believe what I just read. Oh, first of all, okay, let me just say that the end of this book was insane. There's so much that happens, and oh my gosh, it kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time. So many emotions were running through me, and I definitely cried at different parts, but it was such a good book. It was such a good end of the book. Definitely leaves you wanting more, and I understand why people were so eager to get to Iron Flame. Yeah, there's not much else that I can say without giving anything away, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Ooh, actually, I have the special edition, and there's 2 bonus chapters included in this edition. So I'm gonna read those 2 special bonus chapters, and then I will think about my rating and come back and tell you guys. But I just need some time to process all of that and really truly think through my final thoughts on the book and make sure that the rating I'm thinking of giving this book is actually what I want to give it.
One step out the door, wish I'd taken before. I can't make amends with those who make good friends. Took one look at the car, felt like looking at a scar. I can't play pretend with those who play the victim. I can't make you love me.
Okay, you might hear the dishwasher in the background, but can't really do much about that. I am about to head out to run errands, and since I finished Fourth Wing, I wanted to choose my next book that I'm going to be reading, because I'm probably going to bring it with me in case, I don't know, I always like to have a book with me in case I have time to read. Okay, here are all of the books I have to choose from. And I'm kind of in the mood for either My Roommate is a Vampire, or, yeah, it's way down there, but The 7-Year Slip. I'm kind of in the mood for like a simple romance, so I'm gonna choose between those, and you'll see. I'll let you know. Okay, I officially decided to go with My Roommate is a Vampire. I needed a nice, quick little romance to just switch up the pace a little bit, and this one I was excited to read it last month in October and was bummed that I didn't get to it. And before it gets too far away from the Halloween season, while we're still technically in fall, I figured this is a now or never situation and this is the best time to read it. So I'm going to start My Roommate is a Vampire, and I will let you guys know my thoughts as I go. Also, a little update on Good Girl Bad Blood. I am now on chapter 9, so I'm only 1 chapter farther in the book than when I last talked to you guys, but I had a thought when I was listening to chapter 8, and I hope that it changes as I get farther in the book, but I'm feeling like this book is just like, I don't know, the first book, of course, like most mysteries and murder mysteries are gonna be a little bit far-fetched and unrealistic, but this one just feels to be quite a bit, not unrealistic, but just weird. Like, it just feels a little weird, and maybe part of it has to do with the audiobook because the narrator reading it is just a little like, I don't know if it's like dramatic, like the way she's talking, or what it is, but there's something about the way she's talking, it's throwing me off. So I still haven't gotten used to that yet. But this last chapter, she was talking to Connor and Connor's mom, Joanna, and they were talking about Connor's brother, Jamie. I'm starting to remember the names. So they were talking to Connor and Joanna about Jamie, and Pip was trying to get more information on Jamie and learn more about who he is and like get any photos of him, like recent photos, and just learn more about like the past couple weeks and just to grasp a little bit more about him. And then they also like went into Jamie's room so that she could, you know, see if she could find anything that would hint at, you know, where he might be or was planning on going or anything going on in his life in the recent past. And I don't know, just the way she was asking Joanna and Connor questions was weird. Like, it just seemed like she was acting too much like this detective, and she's in high school, and it was just like she was taking it too serious and like acting weird to me. Like, it just seemed, I don't know, just annoying almost. But oh, there's someone literally loading their car right next to me. I'm at Target. I hate filming next to people. I've never been comfortable doing it. I always feel weird doing it. But that's pretty much all I was gonna say anyway. It just feels a little odd. Like, she's acting too much like she's this professional, legit detective, and she's literally just in high school. So it just feels kind of odd to me. But other than that, it's been a good book so far. And like I said, I'm only a chapter farther, so there's not much else to talk about. So I'll give you guys more updates if I have any thoughts, but that's where I'm at with Good Girl, Bad Blood. Hi guys, okay, I just got home from work, just parked, and I wanted to give you guys an update on where I'm at in my books before I go inside. So with, I always forget the names. Good Girl, Bad Blood. I am on chapter 19 now, and aside from still struggling to get used to a narrator, the way she reads it, other than that, which it's not really a big deal, like I get past it, but other than that, I'm starting to really get into the book. I'm really enjoying it. There's been a bit of a turn in the story, and we're starting to learn more about the person who's missing. And at this point, it's been, I think, 2 days that he's been missing, 2 full days, three days. It's been 3 days since he's been missing, and he is quite a mystery. When he was last seen, he was at this calamity party with some of their friends from school, which all of this is casually talked about, and it confuses me because they are literally in high school and they're talking about drinking and smoking, and I'm like, I mean, like, I know some people smoked or drank in high school, like, obviously, but it's talked about so much more casually than I feel like it should. Aside from that, and it sounding like they're actually in college and not high school, she reached out to everyone that was, I think, at the calamity party, or everyone like at her school, and some people responded back to her. They sent any videos they had, because she asked if anyone could send any photos, any videos they had of him in the last couple weeks. And so some people have responded, and she's gotten some really helpful tips and some really helpful videos. And so her neighbor reached out to her and said, you gotta see this. And so she goes over and she's talking to them, and they show her footage of him from their Ring doorbell camera, and he showed up on there. So that was really interesting, and we're slowly but surely finding out more about where he is and all of that. But it's freaky because for a couple weeks before he went missing, he was talking to this girl that he met on one of the dating apps, and he met her and was like talking to her like through messaging and also calls and stuff like that. So it had to be a girl, they were pretty sure. But they found out that he was talking to her, and then he went missing, and they realized that she was just catfishing him. They're trying to figure it out, so they made a fake account to try and figure out who it is. And so that was really interesting, because they noticed that the person that he was talking to, the photos that the catfisher was using was a girl from their school, and it definitely obviously wasn't her page, and her name is different and stuff. And so that was really interesting, and there was a really big twist that went off of that, and getting closer to finding out who this person is that was catfishing Jamie. So there's just so much to this book. It's getting crazy. I'm enjoying it a lot more than I was in the beginning. So I'm about like 40% through the book, but I'm gonna continue listening to that on audiobook. I'm trying to listen to it when I am doing chores or cooking or just driving to and from work and stuff like that. I'm getting through it slower than I want to, but when I'm not listening to that book, I am reading, of course, still My Roommate is a Vampire, and I'm now on page 94. I'm gonna read a bunch of this when I go inside. It's really cute. I am enjoying it, but it's just like the conversation between the two of them is so silly because he's obviously, as a vampire, like they are immortal. So he's from like centuries ago, which is still so weird to me. That just has always like seemed so weird in my head. But anyway, moving past that, he's just way too formal, and so it's all awkward to read. Like he doesn't text, he doesn't really use his phone ever, he refuses to, and he told her about that, and he said if we need to like talk about anything anytime like we aren't around each other, don't see each other, just leave me a letter or leave me a note. So he like is writing these letters to her, and they're so formal, and she's like so obviously not formal with her letters back to him and stuff. But they've had a couple run-ins with each other, but most of the time they don't see each other since he's asleep during the day and awake at night. It's cute though, nonetheless. I'm enjoying it, and it's just starting to pick up too. Like I just got to a part where the pace is starting to pick up with the book, so I'm excited to continue this book. I'll give you more updates on this one when they come, but other than that, I'm gonna continue reading and I'll give you guys more updates soon. Okay, I decided that I'm gonna start with listening to Good Girl, Bad Blood because I want to do my nails and I want to get farther on Good Girl, Bad Blood. You're gonna hear Molly panting in the background. But I decided that I'm just gonna listen to Good Girl, Bad Blood and do my nails just so I can get farther in that, and I've also been wanting to do my nails for like 2 weeks now, so I'm gonna do both. And that is one thing that I absolutely love about audiobooks and why it bothers me when people are like listening to an audiobook isn't actually reading the book and stuff like that, and I hate that because I'm retaining the information just the same. It's not like I didn't It's not like I didn't read the book. Just because I didn't physically read it doesn't mean that I didn't read it, you know? So listening to an audiobook is still the same. I don't know where that came from, sorry. Little mini TED Talk rant over. But I am going to do my nails and listen to Good Girl, Bad Blood.
You're unprecedented, and I regret that we never talk. So when October rolls around, I watch my emotions, for they bubble over, chasing four-leaf clovers, missing you more than I know now. We used to walk along the meadow, you were pretty, it felt so serene. Later now, but that feeling is still stuck with me. The water's frozen over by the lakeside, down by the boathouse we used to dance. And I can't help feeling scared, 'cause I know that we'll never get that time again. We used to drive out to the farm and play rummy cup till your hair was gray. I still pretend it feels the same. Stay up on Saturdays, drinking cheap wine from Pick and Pay without you. Now the time is strange, time is strange.
Okay guys, I am about to finish Good Girl, Bad Blood, and just so you guys know, so yes, I've been listening to the audiobook most of this time, but I already had this book. I had the whole set from the beginning when I first read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, the first book, but I knew that I wanted to listen to a book on audiobook, and I knew that this would be an easy one to listen to. Hi, good morning, Miss Ma'am. Want to say hi to everyone? But I really wanted to finish it physically last night. For some reason, I wanted to just read it instead of listening to the audiobook. But I listened to the audiobook a lot yesterday, anytime I had time during work, and I got really far, and the book has gotten really good. So like the beginning was just kind of weird to me and just so-so. But towards the second half of the book, it was really starting to pick up and escalate, and so much has happened. Where I'm at now, I'm on page 360. I have, let's see, okay, 397, and I'm on 361. So almost done with the book, very close to being done. Mommy's eye. And where I'm at, like we finally are just figuring out who the people are that were a mystery all this time and what happened to Jamie, and it's just getting so interesting, and I really like where it's turned. It's just kept me on the edge of my seat, and I figured out one of the two things that were a mystery that you're trying to solve. So I feel pretty good about that, but I am really enjoying it, and it's gotten a lot better as the book has gone on. So let's finish that up right now, then finish up My Roommate is a Vampire and tell you my thoughts on that as well. You got it. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, there we go. One book down, one to go to finish. Let's start back up. My Roommate is a Vampire. I am on page 108, so I have a chunk left, but not too bad. So I'm gonna continue reading this. I'm enjoying it, but I don't have too many other updates from when I last talked to you guys, so let's read. Hey besties, okay, welcome back to where we started today's video. I ended up not recording a final thoughts on My Roommate is a Vampire book, so I will be giving my final thoughts when I give the review for this book. But let's start with Fourth Wing and go through the 3 books that I read this month and what my final thoughts and final ratings are on those books. So to start this video and to start the month, I, as you saw, read Fourth Wing, and I pretty much said my thoughts throughout the video, but my final thoughts on Fourth Wing, still at the end of the month, thinking back on it, I absolutely loved this book. I loved so much about it. I love Rebecca Yaros's, I almost said Rebecca Ross because of Divine Rivals, so I always have to check, but I absolutely love Rebecca Yaros's writing, and I enjoyed so many things about this book. I loved the aspect of the dragons and that the riders are able to bond with their dragon and create such a deep connection with them. I think that is so cool, and I loved just the different elements of like fighting aspects of the book and the intense fighting scenes and all of that. That was really exciting and thrilling, and I just enjoyed so much of this book. The romance as well was so good, and I enjoyed a lot of characters as well. There were so many that I absolutely loved, and it just made it easier to get invested in the story and in the world, because if you enjoy all the characters and you're fully invested in them, like Rebecca Yarros is able to briefly give you just a glimpse into the different characters in the story and in the world. Not enough that you like know their entire backstory, but enough to still be like attached to them and find like a connection with them and form an opinion on them. And I really like that because it just makes you more immersed into the world. And I don't know, like, I don't know how else to explain it, but and I hope that makes sense, but it was just so good. So I really enjoyed Fourth Wing, and of course gave it a 5 stars, 5 out of 5 stars. It was absolutely amazing, and I'm so excited to get into Iron Flame. I'm a little low-key nervous because I've heard some mixed reviews on it being just a little bit long, like too long at parts and everything, but that it was still good nonetheless. Oh, hi Moo! But that it was still good nonetheless, so I'm really excited to get to Iron Flame, but also nervous, like I said. So 5 stars for Fourth Wing, really enjoyed it. Highly recommend that you read it as well if you haven't yet already. Then next up, I listened to / read Good Girl, Bad Blood, the second book in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and hello, good morning. Next up, I read the second book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, Good Girl, Bad Blood, and I ended up giving this a 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, not as much as the first one, but still enjoyed it nonetheless, and I enjoyed getting back into this world and with these characters. In the beginning, it was a little bit slow, and there were a couple parts where I was like, okay, this is a little too unrealistic for me, but then later on, the book started to get really good, really interesting, and I was trying to figure out and guess like how it was gonna wrap up, and I was able to guess one of the 2 mysteries that you're trying to solve throughout the book. I enjoyed the way it wrapped up, and I thought it was wild. There were some crazy things that happened toward the end of the book. I highly recommend this series if you haven't read it already. It is young adult, but it's really good. It's really enjoyable. They're easy, fast reads, and if you love mystery books, it's just a fun, cozy mystery to read. I really, really enjoyed the first book. I wasn't able to guess anything for that book, and this one I was able to guess one of the 2 mysteries in it, like I said. So I'm excited to get to the third book, As Good as Dead, I believe it's called, and finish up this series soon, but highly recommend the series if you haven't read it already. Then lastly, I read My Roommate is a Vampire, as you saw, and oh, hi Mo. Oh. This book was so fun to read. It was such a cutie romance rom-com. I really enjoyed it. It had me giggling, and Frederick, the main guy, he is so cute, so wholesome and sweet and fun, and the things that he would say, because he is like hundreds of years old, he is stuck so much in his old-fashioned ways, but he's trying to learn to live in the modern society and everything, and she's helping him change to be more in with the times, and that was really cute as well, but they still would write letters back and forth to each other instead of texting, and I thought that was really cute. I really enjoyed, what's her name? Cassie. I literally just finished this book. I really enjoyed Cassie's character as well because she is an artist, but her art style is a little bit different than people normally like or are used to, so it makes it more difficult for her. That was interesting to see, especially being someone who loves art myself and is an artist. I could understand some of the things she was talking about. Not all of it. I'm not like her in the sense of like the type of medium that she liked to do for art, but some of the things that she would say I understood and related to about what it's like being an artist in like today. I just really enjoyed the art that was talked about and could relate to some of it, so that was fun. With that, I gave it a 3.5 stars. I think I gave it a 3.75. No, I gave it a 3.5. gave it a 3.5. I was leaning toward 3.75 because I was leaning between 3.5 and a 4, but it was just a cute romance. Like, it wasn't anything that I'm absolutely obsessed with, but it was something that I enjoyed reading for the time being and had a lot of fun with. It is a small, short romance. There's not much to it, and that makes it a little more difficult to give it like a 5 stars because it doesn't go as far in depth. Still recommend this book a lot, and it's perfect for the fall time and those vibes. Not only is he a vampire, and that's perfect for Halloween, but it also is set in the colder months. Like, I think it goes over like the fall and winter time. It's set in Chicago, which is also, I don't know what it is about Chicago or New York, like that setting to read during the fall or winter time is so fun. So that was perfect for reading it during the colder months, reading it during the fall, especially when the book is set during those months as well. So it was a really cute book. Highly recommend it. So that is all the books that I read for November. Thank you for coming along with me for this mood reading month. I really hope you enjoyed, and let me know if you did. Let me know if you've read any of these books before and what your thoughts and ratings were on them as well, and what books that you read in November. And also let me know in the comments below what you're excited to read for the month of December. I'm super excited to get into that month, and I have a video coming soon that is going to be showing my TBR for December. This is a really fun one. I'm so excited to do, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. I've seen a few people do it last year for December, and it looked so fun. So I'm really excited. Stay tuned for that. And like I said, leave those comments below, all your thoughts on these books and what books that you read are excited to read. And thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. Like this video, and I will see you soon with my next one. Bye. Go get him. Oh, did you see him? Oh,